everyone, my name's Dave, and if you're no Eddie Van Halen on guitar, but you got his guitar amp on your iPad, you can call me Daveypoo, the mobile music minstrel. How you doing, everybody? I'm back at it again with more Nembrini goodness. This is the company that just keeps giving. They have put out their copy of the Eddie Van Halen Peavey 5150 amp. It is their Nembrini Audio 8180, and this thing sounds amazing. So, I'm going to play through it a little bit today. I'm hosting here in 8-Matrix. As you can see, I have my trusty Gibson SG right here for you. There it is. It's an official Gibson for all of you that care. And there it is. There's the guitar. So, let's fire up 8180 here. Now, I have the initialized preset here. If I click on the grill, you can see that I've turned the input gain all the way up, as I've mentioned before. The UMC 404 HD that I use as an interface has a very low input from guitars, so I use that to kick up the sound. And I'm going to run right through it here, and here we go. So you can hear that this is pretty metalicious right off the bat. Now, there's a lot of noise also that you can hear. I'm going to kick on the built-in noise gate here with the power. I'll turn the threshold up a little bit. That way I can get a little smoother. Okay, I can a little bit turn it up a little bit. There we go. So that way it'll keep it silent while I'm talking. Now, I've done a number of videos on Nembrini's other apps. They are all set up very similarly. I'm going to walk through the controls really quickly here. I am on the lead channel, as you can see indicated up here. You've got your lead pre-gain, you've got your EQ, you've got your post-gain, you've got your power amp and your output. If you click on the grill here, you can see some of the hitting settings. They've got an IR impulse reverb cabinets in here, so you can browse a ton of IRs that they have in here already. And then they also have the noise gate. As you can hear, I'm using that now to get rid of some of the noise. Now I can also switch over to the rhythm channel here and get a much more clean tone or a big super distortion with a lead tone. Now, this is not necessarily my style of amp. I'm not like a super big metal guy. You know, I can play power chords with the best of them. But this is not my ilk. Now, in previous videos, I have also not dialed in tones. I've been using just the default settings. Why? First of all, I'm not very good at dialing in tones. That's the truth. I always struggle with dialing in tones through guitar amp simulators. I also strongly believe that with enough diligence, you can kind of make this sound like anything. I'm painting with a big brush here, but bear with me. There are a lot of customizable aspects of these amps, and depending on your guitar and your EQ settings, if you have something gain staging you going into this, if you're coming out of this and going into something else, that's going to affect your tone. So if you really want to get into the nuts and bolts of it, you can really change the sound of this amp wildly. I feel like the best way that I can give an example of the tone is to show you how it is when you just pop open the box. This is it, right, with default settings, with nothing. And I'm a terrible guitar player, and if I can get decent sounds out of it with just my chopping away at the guitar in its initial settings, then you should understand that there's more depth to be had here. So now, I like this. Let's turn up some of the EQ in here. Hear how it gets kind of, if it gets crispy on the top. Brings out that fuzziness up on the edge, but it doesn't get too... It's not very brittle, so I don't feel like, you know... Okay, so for single note sounds, you know, it's not just chunkiness. Okay, so I'm playing crappy blues licks, but you get the idea. Okay, so let's switch over to the other channel and see what we got here. Okay, so if we switch over to the rhythm channel here, you'll see that there's a different side of things. So if we come over here. Okay, let's turn up the output a bit. That's a nice crunchy tone. It's a little bit beefy for my taste, a little bit low end. This is just the bridge pickup on my SG. So even with just that. So you have a lot of different sides here. You know, that is not my favorite channel. I would, you know, I'm going to go balls to the wall if I'm going to plug in this amp. And that's just brutal. It's just absolutely brutal. I love the Nembrini products. I think that they are just absolutely top notch. I have everything that they've put out, and they are just knocking it out of the park. So I hope you enjoyed this walkthrough of 8180 Monster Tube amp. If you want to hear a really good guitar player play through this amp, I will link a friend of mine's channel below. My friend Flo, who lives in France, is a fantastic guitar player, and he gets all of the tones out of this amp that a real guitar player would. I am not a real guitar player. I am not going to get those tones out of this amp, but I hope that the personality, and I hope that the walkthrough helped a little bit, just kind of show you what you get when you first open the box, and whether or not this would be in your arena or not. So, if you like this video, please come check me out on Facebook, check me out on Twitter, check me out on Instagram, go chat me up on the Audio Bus Forum or on any of my various social media sites. Please like the channel here and subscribe on YouTube and say hi. And thanks, Nembrini. You guys rule. And I will see you guys next time. Later, baby.